Thanks for joining me today. This is Laura Lynn with Keep Inking Up. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! In San Antonio, Texas. And in today's video, I'm going to share how to make a one-layer card using the Snowman Magic stamp set. This stamp set does have a coordinating set of dies right here, and this bundle is available in our July to December 2022 mini catalog, but we're just going to be using the stamp set today for the one-layer card. If you follow me at all, you know that I like to challenge myself every once in a while to a one-layer card. There is a bit of thought process that needs to happen prior to making a one-layer card, and I've already done that, but hopefully you'll pick up the tips and tricks along the way as we get going. So I'm going to be using my Stamparatus for this particular one-layer card. Because the stamp set is photopolymer, I do have the deluxe foam mat set in my Stamparatus, and I am going to start with a piece of our thick basic white cardstock that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored and folded in half at 4 1/4 for my basic A2 size card base. And then I am going to start my stamping. And my first image that I need to stamp is the little bunny for my little scene that I'm going to create here. So I have my bunny on my Stamparatus plate. Stamparatus comes with 2 of these plates. Several years ago we used to sell them individually, and so I do happen to have more than 2, so you will see actually 3 today, but just keep in mind that the Stamparatus comes with 2. But it's just really handy when you're using multiple images like I'm going to be doing today. So to stamp the little bunny image, I am going to grab my soft suede ink. So I'll ink up my little bunny, stamp it onto my card, and I will ink him up one more time because I want him nice and dark. And the beauty of the Stamparatus is you can stamp as many times as you would like. So it'll go in the exact same spot every time as long as it stays in the same spot. So I have my magnet holding it down and my card is in the corner, so that helps me know that it's in the right spot. Okay, so I am going to pick up the plate and go ahead and clean as I go because I am notorious for getting ink where I don't want to because I have inky fingers. So I'm going to use my Simply Chamois to clean off my stamp and the plate a little bit. I'll set that aside. So my next image is the hat. So let me find the Snowman hat. So here it is on this plate. So I'll put that plate in, and I'm going to bring in basic gray for the hat. Now I do want the hat to be nice and dark, almost black, so I can stamp this multiple times. Again, the beauty of the Stamparatus is I can do that. Because right now it's gray, but I'm going to stamp it at least 2 more times to get it nice and dark so it will look nearly black. See, that looks nearly black. I think that's wonderful. And again, that's one of the beauties of the Stamparatus. So I'm going to set that aside and go ahead and pick this plate up and clean that off. I'm going to try my best not to get ink somewhere where I don't want to, but there are no guarantees. I am a messy stamper. So I'll set that aside, and next is the scarf. So I'll find the plate with the scarf on it. There's the scarf. Put that plate in, and I'm going to stamp the scarf in Sweet Sorbet, which is a really nice red. I wanted to add some color to this one-layer card, so I'm going to add the Sweet Sorbet. And we'll see if we need to double stamp this. I don't always double stamp. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I want to get a little bit darker. It's fine, but I do like to be a little bit darker. Yep, I like that better. Okay, so I'll close this up, and I will clean off this plate. So this looks kind of funny right now. These are all just kind of floating, but you'll see it come together. Oops, see, I got ink there. Oh, my goodness. I knew I would do it. Oy, oy, oy. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to add some masks on here because these are the images that are going to be in the foreground. So I have created masks that were cut out of Post-it paper, or Post-it notes that has sticky on the whole note. So I'm going to cover my scarf up. The hat. And the bunny. I've got little masks here. Okay, and next I can stamp the snowman. I have the snowman and the sentiment. It says, thinking of you this season. And I will stamp that once again in basic gray ink. Press down really well. I think that looks good. You know what? I might do the snowman again because that looks a little light. And again, because the Stamparatus, I can do just that. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, I'm not going to put that ink away yet because I'm going to, before I put the snowman mask on, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the face. There are two faces in this stamp set. This one has the open eyes. There is also a face that has closed eyes. I have a sample here that has the closed eyes, and we'll go over this in a little bit, but there's the closed eye stamp and there's the open eye stamp. And then I'm going to use the tiny little carrot stamp. Look how tiny that is. We'll stamp that in pumpkin pie. Now my camera is in the way, so we'll see how well I can get this lined up. That looks pretty good. Okay. And then I need to put my snowman mask on before I do the arms. And let's find the arms after I clean off this stamp and plate. And let's find the arms. Here's the arms. And we'll go back to the soft suede ink for the arms. Now that'll leave those fine. Sometimes I'd like to double stamp, sometimes I don't. And the beauty of the Stamparatus is I can whenever I need to. Okay. All right, and next I need to do the trees. I wanted to add a bit more color to my scene here. And we do have this cute little tree stamp, a trio of trees. So I will stamp that in shaded spruce ink just to add a bit more color to my scene. And I will double stamp that because it's a little bit light. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Take that off. Clean it. Okay. Next, I have a little snowflake stamp. This actually is not in this stamp set. It is from the Trees for Sale stamp set right here, the little snowflake stamp. This is also in the July to December 2022 mini catalog. It's a great stamp set that also has a set. Well, it doesn't have a set of coordinating dies. That was a celebration and they're already sold out, unfortunately. But I do have my snowflake stamp set, and I'm going to stamp some snowflakes in Pool Party ink. And we'll just add some snowflakes kind of randomly around my little scene that I have created here. I'm not doing this with a Stamparatus because I'm adding it multiple times. I think that looks pretty good. We'll leave that out because now we're going to do a bit of ink blending. I have another mask to create some ground. So this is just, again, that Post-it paper that has sticky on across the whole part of it, and I will add this to the bottom of my snowman and bunny, so I create a little bit of a ground. Then I'm going to bring in a blending brush and add some Pool Party ink to my brush, and I'm going to start from my mask and go up and create a little bit of sky where I have stamped those snowflakes. And everywhere that there's a mask, this ink will not go to because it's masked off. And obviously I won't be adding ink over my sentiment. And you can add as much ink or as little ink as you want. Just kind of bleed it out. I think that looks pretty good. And now I can take off my masks. Now I like to use my Take Your Pick tool with the paper piercing end to help me get underneath the sticky part of the masks. Take them all off. And now you can see the scene that we created. So we have a really nice one-layer card with using some strategic masking and layering to create a nice little soft, sweet little thinking of you this season card. So I hope that you found this video helpful on how to mask and how to create a one-layer card. I did want to share 2 other stepped up samples. This is the same card. You can it's the same layout. The bunny, however, I stamped in a different order, and so the bunny is actually behind the snowman. But I did everything else basically the same. On this one, I stamped it on a layer of our basic white cardstock, cut it out with the stitched rectangle dies, added a Sweet Sorbet mat behind that to coordinate with the Sweet Sorbet scarf, and added it on a Pool Party card base to bring out the pool party of that. So these are the exact same card. This is just stepped up a little bit. If you do want to use the dies from the bundle, you can step it up even further. This is similar, a little bit different layout. I did add multiple trees. I cut out the bunny and colored in with my blends. Cut out the snowman. This has the closed eyes. And I did not put a scarf on this snowman, so he's a little bit cold. But I put it on a layer that was cut with the, this is the scalloped contours dies. Again, I did the ink blending with the blending brush and the snowflakes from that same stamp set, and put this all on a layer that uses the Designer Series paper that is part of our celebration that ends next Wednesday. The end of August is already next week. Can you believe that? Where did August go? Anyway, this is the Rings of Love Designer Series paper, and it is free with a $50 order, but only now through the end of August, which ends next Wednesday. So be sure to snag up that paper while you can. So these are 3 cards using the same stamp set, starting from the one-layer card that we did in today's video. So thank you again so much for joining with me today, doing a little bit of stamping. I hope that you will give a one-layer card a try yourself. Just keep in mind, do a little bit of planning work ahead of time to know which images you want in front and which images you want behind, so you can do strategic masking just like I showed in this video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.